everybody, thank you for watching our videos plane, train, automobile and boats. It is how we are traveling this time during almost 2 months. We took a train from Holyhead, England, Holyhead, Wales to London, England. Every time when we visit big cities for 2 or 3 days, we take hop on, hop off bus. In London, um, in this price was included a boat on the river and the night bus.
There are as many reasons to go to London as there are tourists who go there. And I suppose that everyone wants to see different things. In my case, it was history. As an American who's read a fair amount of history, uh, there were just so very many places in London that ring so many bells um, that really are a fundamental part of our culture, of American history as well as English history. For example, here is Trafalgar Square with Nelson at the top of the monument, the man who defeated the Armada at the Battle of Trafalgar. The square, of course, has the Art Museum, which you're looking at behind the statue, but the Art Museum was of little interest to me. Of far more interest was the Nelson statue, and that just shows the many different reasons that people have for going to London. But whether it's the Tower of London, or whether it's the Thames River, whether it's the Naval Museum, or Greenwich, or Trafalgar Square, or the Buckingham Palace. There are just so many historical sites, or Westminster, so many historical sites in London, and so much rich history to explore.
This is the National COVID Memorial Wall in England, and the instructions on the plaque say that if you lost someone who you were close to because of COVID, you can come here and find a heart that doesn't have any writing on it, and you can write what you like as a memorial to that person. And there are lots of them that have writing on them, but there are lots of them that do not too. So
many different types of taxis in London, and some are regulated, some are not regulated. I don't know a great deal about it, but what I do think I know is that the ones that are black and have particular type of license tag on the back of the taxi are heavily regulated by the government. The drivers are really limited in what they can charge, and there are various ways they try to prevent them from in any way cheating their passengers. And they also, and very interestingly, before they can be a taxi cab driver in one of these black regulated taxis, they have to pass a very exhaustive series of examinations that prove that they know their way around London, they know all the rules and regulations, they can get you from where you want to go, from where you are to where you want to go in the shortest possible way and efficiently, and that they are instructed in the ways that they're supposed to charge you and the ways that they're not supposed to charge you. So they're very regulated, they're very good taxis, and they're very pleasant to ride in with knowledgeable drivers who are happy to talk with you for the most part.
There is the Prime Meridian in London. It is the line of 0 degrees longitude, the starting point for measuring distance both east and west around Earth. And it is right here.
The day we were there in London, or one of the days we were there, we witnessed from a distance a pretty historic event. You see a fleet of limousines going down the road here with police escort and so forth. They're on their way to Buckingham Palace because that's the new prime minister who was going to Buckingham Palace to present his credentials to the king, King Charles, and to ask King Charles for permission to form a new government. Uh, Liz Truss had just resigned, and this was actually his first day on the job as the new prime minister, and we were fortunate to be able to see that on our way to the changing of the guard.
We walked to a horse guard headquarters through the St. James Park, and we noticed a big crowd there. Apparently, there were pink pelicans, 6 of them. The story of how they got there is very interesting. In 1664, the Russian ambassador uh, gave a pair of pelicans as a gift to Charles II. And since 1664, this park was a home for 40 pelicans. Right now, there are 6 of them, and they have actually names: Isla, Tiffany, Gargi, Sun, Moon, and Star. Uh, I don't know. Our tour guide was very confusing. She said that they are from South Africa, if we understood correctly, but like I said, they were from. It was a gift from Russia. Then the Americans brought a few of them, and some of them was as a gift from Prague. Yes, about the pink, why they are pink. I read uh, online that they turn pink in the spring, but actually it is right now the end of October, and I think they look pink.
One of the very most common things that tourists do in London is watch the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace. Now, usually when you speak of the changing of the guard, you're talking about the foot soldiers, the Coldstream Guard. But the fact is that when we were there, the changing of the guard was done by the horse guards. Actually, a regiment just as historic as the Coldstream Guards, the foot soldiers. It seems that on alternate days, the Coldstream Guards and the Horse Guard performed the ceremony, and we were there on the day when the Horse Guard did it. And as I say, they're actually equally as historic as the Coldstream Guards, and throughout history have been some of the very finest soldiers that the English army was able to field. And if you know very much about history, you know that the English army was, during most of its history, probably the best or one of the very best armies in the entire world. And the Horse Guards was one of the very best units, probably the best cavalry unit in that entire army. So we were fortunate to be able to watch the changing of the guard with the Horse Guards. Very impressive ceremony, lots of tourists, and what you see here, this particular building, is actually the headquarters of the Horse Guard. Buckingham Palace is behind the camera and down the stream a bit, or down the street a bit, but part of the ceremony occurs at the headquarters of the guard, and part of it actually in front of the palace. So we saw both parts.
Like we understood, and it is obvious, uh, this guard came from Buckingham Palace because they were walking from that direction, and the guard that is standing right now here on the plaza is going to replace them. But it was an interesting ceremony. After the king's lifeguard was changed, there was another part of this ceremony. Like we understood, this guard was changed for the um, headquarters, the horse guards.
Beware, horses may kick or bite. Thank you.
Let me ask this policeman the direction of the river, okay?
Okay,
don't
I
know
hope
if
you
he
like
asked.
our video, and
If he will tell
I
you.
will see you next time in a few days.